This is Wealth Wednesday with Brent Wilsey, president of Wilsey Asset Management.
Good evening. I'm Brent Wilsey, president of the investment firm Wilsey Asset Management. Well, who's to blame for the high cost of meat and beef and so forth? Well, let me first of all explain about inflation. Inflation right now is about 2.4%. People say, that's not true. I go in the grocery store and things are so much higher. That's a false number. It's not really true. Well, the thing they don't realize is that the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, covers over 80,000 items. Now, what that means, when you talk about beef, it's just not beef. It's also like hot dogs and prime rib and hamburgers. It's many different things, and that's how some of these can be lower than higher. But the average cost of beef over the last year is up about 15%. So who is to blame for these high costs? Well, it's a shortage problem. Supply demand. If you have a low supply, which we have, and high demand, the prices will rise. Well, right now we only have about 86.2 million head of cattle. The peak was back in the mid-70s, around 130 million heads of cattle. So think about that. We have more people now. I mean, we currently have the lowest herd since 1951, and today we have 344 million people, so we have more people, lower supply. The head of cattle to be all equal now would have to be somewhere around 188 head of cattle, and that's more than double what it is right now to get back to norm. So there's three reasons why the cost of beef is high and cattle is low. The first one is we used to get about 5% of our supply from Mexico. Well, they have a thing called a screw worm, which is getting into the cattle, destroying the meat, so that supply from Mexico is gone. The other thing too is that Texas does have the most cattle, about 12.5 million head of cattle. But they've had for the past 2 years a rain problem. The rain is not there, so therefore the grain is not growing for the cattle to eat. What this means is that the ranchers have to go out and buy feed for the cattle, which is expensive. And what they try to do is they try to buy as little as possible to keep the price low. But then you have smaller cattle, maybe 100, maybe 150 pounds lighter than before. Now, you may be saying, well, wait a minute. I drive up 15, about an hour from San Diego, and I see all these cattle all around. Well, what about that? Well, California is the fourth largest state with cattle, about 5 million heads of cattle, but about 40% of that are milk, dairy cows. So they can't become beef cattle until about 5 to 6 years. Your normal cattle, about 2 years, becomes fully grown. And the other problem is being a rancher. Who wants to be a rancher? Kids nowadays say, I want to be an attorney, a doctor, maybe a financial advisor. No one says I want to be a rancher because it's hard work. I mean, you're out there on the range. It's hot, it's humid, it's dusty, and they don't get paid that much, about $25 an hour. They do get free room and board, but it's still very hard work. And then, too, it's generational. Most of the times, the generations will take over the ranch. Well, now they're starting to say, why am I doing this? I got oil on the land. I can get millions of dollars by selling my land. Also, some private people are buying these big ranches for private hunting. So there's less people becoming ranchers. That's a problem. We need to get more people into that. But the big problem is we really need more rain in Texas. Don't know how to fix that. So all this information does come from our website, smartinvesting2000.com. Again, that's smartinvesting2000.com. And if you want to try to take advantage of this low supply of meat, a couple of companies that may help would be Tyson Foods, because they're processors. Prices go up, they should earn more. And also, too, you would have Archer Midland, the other one. So again, for more information, go to my website, smartinvesting2000.com. Thanks for watching. We'll be back right here next week. Have a good night.
This has been Wealth Wednesday, sponsored by Wilsey Asset Management.